Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video. And well, do you guys follow me on Instagram? If yes, you might have seen my story from yesterday, just a short announcement that I received this. Especially I've posted this thing here, which is like a stamp kind of, and announced that I'm going to shoot an unboxing video today because maybe for the first time ever I received mail from Canada to like review on my website and also to unbox, as I do when I do receive stuff. So here it is, a small packet obviously sent from Canada to Germany, and it was like, I don't know, announced as being worth €8 maybe for tax reasons, I guess, because well, taxes, if you send out music and stuff that like extends or exceeds a certain value, the receiver has to pay taxes and stuff. So might be the reason, I don't know. I do see that it comes from MIXTAPE in Toronto, Ontario. So this is interesting because Toronto and Canada in general is a region that is for me mainly unexplored in terms of reviews, I guess. I booked a guy from Canada once, Knife Hand Shop, back in the early 2000s, which did like kind of breakcore and like also like breakcore dark jungle mashups with pop and stuff, and he crashed on my sofa back in the days and stuff. Was a nice guy, it was a nice party and stuff, but I'm actually not that familiar with many like Canadian musicians in terms of having like direct connections and like knowing people from labels and like music industry insiders from Canada and all that stuff. So pretty much unexplored territory for me, and therefore I'm very curious about unboxing this. Is there stuff to announce? I announced that that there's a new record on my label quite a few videos ago. And yesterday I received mail from Freddie Fresh, the big beat and techno hero from the United States, because I found an option to send him a record to the States, the latest Alien Swamp release, which I might like link up there somewhere in the end cut of this video, because like shipping, as I told you, maybe from Germany to the US is hell of expensive these days because of Corona and stuff, and it costs like €50+, doesn't make sense. But I found a way to ship stuff third party and with like a little bit of help from people. So I found a way to go around these restrictions, and I sent him the Alien Swamp release and he loved it basically, and sent me like a positive feedback review message. So this made my day yesterday, or like last night, so depending on where you are, and this was like a time difference thing. So he sent me a message basically, and this made my day, because when there's people you look up to and who have been on the scene for ages and have achieved like big things on the scene, come back to you after you send them stuff and like with a positive feedback, this means something to me, because I am quite not looking up maybe, but he's a guy who's been around for ages, and he is a DJ and producer and stuff, and he has like done great things. But anyway, look at this, empty now, and there is a whole lot of stuff. So there is a pile of, I guess, 5 CDs, and I don't know anything about things to expect, so we'll see. MIXTAPE on Orange Milk Records. Okay, this might be like the whole or the entire discography of an artist, so this is interesting. Released in March 27th on Orange Milk Records. The title is My Magic Dreams Have Lost Their Spell. So here is a release sheet and stuff, press quotes in there as well, and here is the album. This reminds me a little bit of these Sound and Silence releases I reviewed, those guys from Greece who sent me stuff. They have like this similar like graphic design with this photo in the middle and stuff, and really interesting typography on the back, and there is someone honking a horn. So go suck some major dick guy outside with a honking horn. So this is interesting, and an interesting choice of graphic design. But this is a repeating motif actually, because the sand is also featured on this main artwork thing. Kind of sponsored by the city of Toronto and the Toronto Art Councils actually. And let's have a look here. Toronto-based composer MIXTAPE has been generating a unique body of deeply personal work, painstakingly created by layering his own performances on a wide assortment of acoustic and electromechanical instruments. So, My Magic Dreams Have Lost Their Spell, a heartfelt, albeit oblique homage to Roberta Flack, is his first vinyl release, and sees his overdub-rich music taken a lush and nocturnal turn. Okay. His sixth solo album actually, and this is definitely interesting stuff. So Roberta Flack is a name that rings a bell. I don't know exactly why, but it does. And here is, okay, now it gets really interesting, because another one on, not Orange Milk, but this is on Redshift. Luciana Cardoso, released on October 30th, Going North on Redshift Records, also from Toronto. Brazilian-Canadian pianist Luciana Cardoso has established herself as one of her instrument's most impressive and intriguing interpretive voices. A lot of names mentioned on here I am not familiar with, but she has released her debut album in 1998, which is like 22 years ago, so it has been has had a long career actually. Worked with Brazilian composer Paulo Gegen, Guicheny. If I butchered this, my apologies. I don't have any idea how to pronounce this. And threading fragments of treated piano through cadence playing. Okay, a lot of stuff. Atmospheric lyricism. We'll see. So this is seems to be more a piano thing, maybe of neoclassical nature. I'm not sure, but I'm always like keen to explore new things and stuff I don't know and to put them into context. So this is Going North by Luciana Cardoso. A very, I would say, like pop classical pose on the album cover, just from the feel. So might be very approachable and melodic, because this is a cover that also seems to appeal to like a normal, like non-expert audience, but I might be totally mistaken. Also a lot of information and also music sponsored by the Canadian Arts Council. So this is interesting. So it's like Denmark has a kind of similar council as well, where they promote Danish music like abroad, and if you go on tour as a Danish artist, you even get a kind of sponsorship from the Canadian government or from this certain fund or trust, or however you might call it. So this is like an interesting thing for cultures that are not that present on the international, I would say, pop music market, but pop is like every music that has like an audience is kind of popular music. So however you would define it, but this is a kind of yeah, interesting thing to put like smaller countries on the map. Next one on Lorna Records, Waze and Simon Toldem Fortunes, released on May 8th, 2020. Also with a big like info sheet and press quotes and stuff, which I will totally go into when I review this album like fully. Waze is Brody West on alto saxophone and Evan Cartwright on drums, featuring Simon Toldem on piano, recorded at the Village Studio in Copenhagen by John Formsgaard. So this combination of instruments might lead me to the conclusion that this might be a jazz related release, or like jazz improvisation maybe, kind of, but like a little bit of info, but one like sentence that sticks out here: the elusive result sits poised between genres and approaches, neither strictly composed nor improvised, neither some unusual variant of chamber music nor of jazz. But if it's neither of those, but still those genres are mentioned or those approaches are mentioned, I presume that this is like kind of intimate, not sparse, but kind of reduced and touching music for a, like, okay, 3 people, a small group or whatever. They were joined by Achim Kaufmann at the 2019 Newcastle Festival of Jazz and Improvised Music. And the pianist, Simon Toldam, is Danish, obviously, and Brody West is a collaborator of the X. So here we got a connection to stuff I reviewed, because I reviewed a lot of like records on the X Records label in the past, or like quite a few, not a lot, because the label has like quite a vast catalog. But this is interesting because the X have been like masters of kind of improvising and jamming and stuff. So this is, oh, Peter Brötzmann is mentioned here somewhere as well. That's a label that is also familiar because he's been a big name and I guess more aggressive free jazz. So I would put it in that realm, but as always, this might be, there's the back again and the front. This might be a part of discussion I have to discuss in my reviews as soon as I write them on my website MIXTAPE. If you're not familiar with that, down in the description box there is a link as to all of my other social media platforms. Okay, this is, first of all, before I read this, this is like an interesting format. So this is not A4, but I know that in the US at least they have like some, for Europeans or for Germans, like weird paper formats, standard formats, and this is definitely at least too long and too like narrow for A4 paper. So interesting. On Riparian Media once again. New Hermitage, Unearth is the name of the release, on September 17th, 2020. Genres: free improv, ambient chamber music, and some RIYL. This is more like, if you like this kind of stuff, you might be familiar with that. So, but there is like Popol Vuh mentioned, which is interesting, and LS Coltrane, also interesting, like a reference to music, because Popol Vuh is like more, I don't know, I have like a few Popol Vuh records, kind of krauty, krautrock, kind of psychedelic or psychedelia infused. I have to listen to them again, which I might do in a minute. So, 5th album by Halifax, Montreal-based improvising quartet New Hermitage unfolds through a series of whispered vignettes offered by the ensemble's most focused and cohesive statement today. Okay, 5 albums in, this does mean that they have been on the circuit, I guess, for 10 years or something like that. Okay, there's a little bit about the collaborators, which I will leave out, but the debut album was once nominated for the Music Nova Scotia Award and written up by dearly departed wayward tastemaker Tiny Mixtapes. So there, Tiny Mixtapes is a name familiar, kind of, blog, website, whatever. I heard of them, and the Nova Scotia Music Awards says Classical Music Recording of the Year to that release, like a prior press quote refers to. So this is interesting. I really like the artwork, which is like a blurred, motion blurred shot of a very ghostly nature. So there it is. There is 11 tracks on there. Might be about 40 minutes long, maybe. Just having done a quick approximation of math when I saw the back. I really like this. I think this might be my like shot for yeah, for the thumbnail. And in there is text and darkness, like a night shot or whatever. And here is the full CD, which is also beautiful and like spiraling. I don't know, it's kind of a mandala or whatever. Really dig this like reduced graphic design styles. So I'm curious, and if they have like been praised by the press, I will see if this praise holds up, of course. So one thing I guess people like about my reviews are that they're not only descriptive, but they are like honest. Actually, if I don't like a thing or like cannot grasp the whole concept or whatever, I'm gonna write this. And a lot of press people I feel have a tendency to not say or not to express their full opinion or their impression, because sometimes if you like I don't know, write a negative or more neutral review, or one that is like, well, I usually don't like write bad reviews, or I have done this but not intentionally, but sometimes I feel press people are afraid of doing so because yeah, people might pull, I don't know, ad money or whatever from magazines and like from publications. So this is always a tricky thing, but I've always done what I've done, and I'm still here and writing stuff. And but of course, I'm not earning money with that website, but still, I get appreciated, obviously. And this is another like this weird format again. So we'll see. Jordan Nobles. Okay, I'm struggling. Chiaroscuro on Redshift Records might be Italian because of that CHI, like in the very beginning of the title. 2 tracks on there only, I guess 44 minutes length total thing. Yeah, a lot of text obviously, and 9th full-length release of that of Jordan Nobles, which is coming from the Vancouver area. Composer must have been on the circuit for quite a long time. The music contains exhibits the music contains exhibits an aesthetic stance at both deeply personal and very much of the present moment, encompassing lyrical strains, minimal leanings, and a fascination with pure texture. Elements that are shared by composers as diverse as Daniel Lenz, Linda Caitlin Smith, Harold Budd, and Morton Feldman. Patient sculpting of timbre and harmonies creates the illusion of shadow and three-dimensionality. It's interesting wording. So this might be deep and of course dark, and I guess maybe a little bit droney, because like one track title or one title is like 30 minutes long. This might lean to an assumption, like a very rough assumption, that it might be a kind of drone neoclassical. We will. Okay, Jordan Nobles occupies a central position in the Canadian contemporary music community while also enjoying considerable international visibility. Okay, a guy that is known, and this is obviously the surface of the moon. I guess it is. Like a NASA image. There is a track list and the back, and which leads me to having seen a lot of instruments on there, like bassoon, oboe, French horn, trumpet, trombone, violin, viola. Let me retreat from the droning idea, because there's too much going on in terms of instruments. So I might step back from the assumption that this is a drone-oriented release, but we will see. So a lot of new music from Canada. I'm intrigued, and I'm gonna write a lot of reviews on this on my website NightStyleC in the future. Please check out the link down in the description box below, and yeah, enjoy another video, maybe the one about the Alien Swamp release I taught you about in the beginning of this video. Leave me a like, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, whatever. I'm gonna see you in the next one. And now it's into editing mode. See you later.